Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to create a two-page layout following a blog post that was put on to the Creative Memories blog. And the blog post was called An Acreage of Awesomeness. And it was designed to go with the On the Farm collection, but we're going to use it today using up some scraps from the layouts I've already created in my Ireland scrapbook, plus some other papers to just kind of enhance all the colors that are involved on that page. So let's check out my workspace. We'll get started. This layout is going to include some peekaboo pockets used in a little bit of different way to hold some memorabilia. And let's see, anything else special about this one? I don't think so, but it is a fun one. So and pretty easy, just a little time consuming, but let's check it out, and I think you're gonna like it. All right, so this is my desktop for today, and I just thought I would share this or show this to you. This is a map of Dublin that we got somewhere along the line. I don't remember where we got it exactly, but I thought it would be fun to go ahead and locate all the different places that we went in Dublin and keep this. So I went and I actually highlighted them. So here's the Book of Kells and Trinity College square, kind of, that all of that area is Trinity College. And then here's where Molly Malone sits, and Grafton Street. I think our hotel was on, our hotel was right around in there. I can't remember exactly where it is. St. Patrick's Cathedral is right here, and the Guinness Storehouse is over here, and the Dublin Castle is right here. So the layout today is the beginning of Dublin Castle, and we're going to go ahead and get started on that, and hopefully it won't take I think it's just 2 or 3 layouts for the visit to Dublin Castle. And then, yeah, so that'll be fun. Let's check it out. I'm going to go ahead and fold this map up. And then I don't have any more of the memorabilia pockets. So I pulled out a 5x7 peekaboo pocket. And that is perfect for this map to fit right down inside of. So I can go ahead and use this to hold on to the map and adhere it to my page, but still keep it loose so I can pull it out and take a look at it. So that's fun. I have this piece of paper which I'll need to mount on cardstock separately because it's not a, I don't know if it's, I'm sure it's just copy paper. And this was our tickets. These were our tickets into the Dublin Castle to go on the self-guided tour. And then I have I got this really cool pamphlet, and I thought, oh, I'll put that in my scrapbook. It's perfect. It's got all kinds of great pictures and wonderful things in it. And if you look really closely at any of those words and you're not a Spanish speaker, you'll notice that it's in Spanish. So, so I can't read it because I know a teensy little bit of Spanish, but not very much. And so anyway, I'm keeping it anyway because the pictures are cool, and I was thinking I might actually decide that I want to just cut some of these photos out of it, but for now I'm just leaving it as it is, and we'll figure it out when we get there. I felt really silly that I didn't get an English speaking one. Oh well. So then this is a map of Dublin Castle, and where we entered right here through this gate, and then they have this extensive back lawn area which is gorgeous, and but the main tour area I think went through all of this right here, this center part of the building. And these are just some pictures from that little entryway that where we walked in. Kind of cool. So not a lot of pictures to go on this layout today, but we are going to have some fun with this. So I pulled this layout design from the Creative Memories blog, and I don't have the name of the person who created it. I'll have to look that up because I didn't jot it down. But this is designed to utilize a lot of scraps, and so I decided maybe now would be a good time to kind of use up some of the scraps that I have from the pages that we've done so far. And also I pulled out some of my extra blue scraps that I had just sort of tucked away to see if any of those would kind of work in conjunction with the other scraps that I have. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to create a frame, and we're going to create a base for the page on top of the frame, and then all of these little pieces are bits and bobs from different layouts, right? They're scraps. And so we're going to layer those and try to give them some kind of an order, and then put some photos on top. All right, so let's get to it. So first thing we're going to do, and I'm just going to lift this off and remove my pages for now. We'll get back to them eventually. First thing we're going to do is just go ahead and make our frames for the pages. So I have 2 pieces of navy cardstock. These are going to be our frames. I'm going to grab my trimmer, and we're just going to gut these pieces of cardstock. We're going to create a 1-inch frame to go around the edge. Now, if you've never done this before, let me just explain a really easy trick that is helpful. Just use some clips, some alligator clips, and mine are over here. That's why I'm not seeing them. So just some little alligator clips like this, and we're going to attach them to the steel bar that our blade rides back and forth on. And I know it's difficult to see in the camera, but this arm, that's a little bit better view, this arm has a ruler printed on it right here, which is extremely helpful for this particular type of project. We know that the housing is 2 inches wide from left to right, and there's a white line on the side of it over here that indicates the center. The center is where the blade is going to impact your paper or whatever's underneath it. So if we set one of these so that the blade stops at a certain point, then we know it's 1 inch from the edge of this clip is where the blade will stop. So I want to stop my blade at the 1-inch mark. I'm going to place this clip so that this edge right here is at 0. And then my blade will stop at 1 inch. Then I want my blade on this end to stop at 11 inches. So I'm going to place this at the 12-inch mark so that my blade stops at 11 inches, which is difficult to see, I admit, and I'm sorry about that. But hopefully that explanation is good enough. Then we take our paper and we place it at the 1-inch mark on this side of the cutting line. And we cut from clip to clip. Then we rotate the paper. You can go either direction, whichever way is comfortable for you. You can go clockwise, you can go counterclockwise, whatever works best. And just work your way around on both sheets of paper. All right, and then we're going to save this inside bit for matting our photos. So don't get rid of that, or don't put it away too far, because you're going to want it. So I'm going to go ahead and make a frame for this second piece as well. Alright, so I'm just going to set those two frames to the side over here, and we'll get back to them shortly. I'm going to take my clips off. I'm done with those. So just going to set them over there for right now. Keep your trimmer out. So now we're going to take our two base sheets, which are these pieces right here. This blue plaid with the floral on the back, but we're going to use the plaid side. And we're just going to take and cut this down. I believe this needs to be 11.5. Yep. So we're going to, sorry, I've upset the frame stacking over here. All right, so we're just going to take a 1/2 inch off in each direction. So we're going to, I stacked my papers, and I'm going to line these up on the 1/2 inch mark on the right hand side of my trimmer, or right hand side of my cutting blade. Okay, so now I've got those 1/2 inch strips, which I'll set over to the side. We're going to turn this one turn, and we're going to cut another 1/2 inch off. So we're making an 11.5 inch square. Okay, make sure your papers have not shifted and they're both still together. I just want to, I don't know, sorry. I saw something out of the corner of my eye, but then it wasn't there, so we're good. All right, so this is our base page. And where we normally would go ahead and adhere the base page to the frame at this point in time, I'm going to suggest that we not do that this time around. And that's so that if we have any parts of our scraps that are hanging off, we can go back and trim them really easily. So I'm just going to start with one page and kind of look through my scraps and see what I find here. So I've got several that are kind of long, and we could cut those and make them shorter for sure. My thought was I would have kind of some green on each side, maybe a few of these shamrocks on each side. Maybe we'll put this one down here, move this one up here. I also have this big piece that I can cut into some smaller pieces if I want to. Let's do that. Let's cut some of these larger pieces into something smaller. So this is a 4-inch piece. I'm just going to cut it down to 2. And maybe what I'll do is just go ahead and cut it into 2-inch squares. And then I can use 2 on the next page and 2 on this page. Then we've got this, which I'm going to just cut in half and then cut into some other lengths of pieces. Got this one. Let's make that one 1 3/4 inches. Could do a couple of those. It's kind of hard to tell what you're going to want to use, so I'm just kind of cutting these up so that I can move them around and try to decide what's going to work best. A lot of these have different types of texture on them, which is kind of cool. And they're dark and they're light, so a lot of variety. Which is nice. Oh, another thing I was thinking, and I haven't really done much with it, but since we are taking a one-page layout and turning it into a two-page layout, I think we might need to lay both of these pages out here to determine what we're using and whether we have what we need. So give me just a second here. I'm just gonna cut a few more pieces of this. So that we can have this for this other page. What else do we have? We could do. All right, I think we may have enough now. So let me take a look here. We'll just move this out of the way. Okay, so, oh, what I should have done is cut this guy. We'll just tear him. He'll be all right. Let me grab my scissors. All right. Oh, we should have cut this one too. Goodness. Okay. So let's just start my overactive mind says I need to kind of balance these a little. Try to anyway, so that we don't have things overlapping too much. So the colors are balanced, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Somewhat. All right, I feel like that's kind of okay. So let's see. The other thing I was thinking was that this center part right here, maybe we don't need, because when we're doing a two-page layout, we just only need. Am I making any sense? I'm sorry, I'm thinking and talking at the same time. Because we're doing a two-page layout and our photos are going to want to kind of blend across, we probably don't need to place our a wall like in the middle. Okay, so let's see. I am just going through and sort of haphazardly putting these where I think they might look nice. Trying to place kind of the larger pieces first so that I can come back in with smaller ones and fill in the gaps. Now the question is, how did they do? Oh, okay. So I think what we'll do is we'll put this one right here. This one can go next to it. This one, no, this one. Oh no, actually, I apologize that this layout is so unstructured, but sometimes this is the way they go. And you just have to make the best of it. Okay, we're going to turn this. This is an interesting way to do this. Alright, so now we've gone all the way around this first piece. I'm going to grab my trimmer and trim off the edges that are hanging over. So I'm just going to line up the edge of my paper with the cutting line on my trimmer. Or you could just use your scissors and cut carefully along the edge of your base paper. Whatever is going to be easier for you is what you ought to do. If you can get a straight edge, you can, that is helpful. Once you have an edge that is straight, then it's helpful to go the rest of the way. Getting that first straight edge can sometimes be a little tricky to see, but okay, so here is that first piece, and now we're going to do a second one, and I'm going to lay this one over here off to the side just so that I can see kind of which papers I'm balancing. And I'm going to keep some of these that I might use for something else. Some of them are too small for sure, so we'll just get rid of most of that. Alright, so let's see what we can lay out for this second page to kind of keep the balance going. So let's see. Scrap space that we've already created. All right. I think maybe that will do it right there. Okay, let's just go ahead and we'll get some of this adhered and then we'll proceed from there. Alright, so we're going to trim up this other page. And then we'll be good to go. Uh-oh. Got a little too close. Okay. Get rid of all the trimmed pieces. Now we're going to mount these onto the frame. So we're going to go ahead and add. So we will still have a little bit of a break in the page because of the frame. If I had thought ahead, I would have only cut these base sheets down to 11.5 on one side, and then we would have been good to go, but I didn't think that far ahead. So if you don't want this break right here, just only trim your base papers on one side to 11.5, and then make sure that you measure before you adhere them so that your base page goes all the way to the center edge. Sorry about that, but I didn't think about that ahead of time. And let's see, my adhesive got a little bit wild and crazy over here on the edge, so I'm just going to fold it up and over quick like. Woo. Whenever you're dealing with tiny pieces, it seems like it takes a lot longer. So I apologize that this video may be a little longer than you're used to. Alright, so here we go with this. Now let's arrange our items here, and then we'll figure out matting and how we're going to do that. We've got this cute little map. We've got the self-guiding tour thing that I need to mat. These 3 things, or 5 things, need to be matted. So maybe we'll just do that first, and then we will be good to go. Sometimes I cut my cardstock and then adhere my photos and whatnot to it to mat things. Other times I will just go ahead and put them on my cardstock and then cut the cardstock apart. And it really isn't significant which way you do it, as long as you know how to cut them apart without cutting your photos. Because this is an even measured square, I can put, and all these photos are the same size, I should be able to put, oh, I put that on wrong. Ta-da! I should be able to put all 4 of my photos on this one piece of cardstock. Which is a version of magic mats. I'm just not making the mats first. I'm adding my photos first, and then I'll cut them apart. Okay, so all 4 of those are on there. Now we're going to cut them apart. Let me do a little extra trimming on some of these. So do you see how that works? We've got a square in the middle that we can save for another day or not. And I'm going to leave that little bit at the bottom of these because then I could use it to write on if I want to. This one doesn't need it, so I'm just going to make that mat even. Alright, so then I need a mat for this guy so that it's not touching my page, although I'm not too worried about it, but it'll look nicer matted anyway. Okay, so just like that. Let's see. We might just cut some of the smaller pictures out of that. Got all this pretty border, and now we're going to cover it up. I know. Not cool, huh? Do like that. We could do kind of like that. I kind of like that better. I think I'll come back to this another time, but we're going to go with this for right now. So let me go ahead and secure these down. I hate it when I get something just lined up the way I want it, and then I go to push down the adhesive and it self-adjusts. It slips. Maybe I'll bring this down just a little bit to allow some space for journaling in there. Okay, I'm going to add adhesive to the back of my peekaboo pocket so that it will for sure stay attached even if people are removing the item that's inside. I'm going to go ahead and take the plastic off the adhesive strip and adhere that down as well. So this will be nice and secure. Whenever I have something that's intended so that people can take it in and out of my album, I try to put it towards the outside edge so that it can be removed fairly easily. Either the outside or the inside edge. If you can keep them towards those sides, then they're usually a little easier to get out. This one's going to be a little tough because it's so high, so we may have to take the page protector off in order to get that out, but it is still possible to remove it if we want to. Alright, so now we need to talk embellishments really quick. Alright, well, so since my husband is really the only person in any of these pictures, we are going to recognize him just a little bit here. So I'm going to use one of the extra clovers that I punch or cut out of my Cricut, and I'm going to add this guy kind of right in here like so, and that way we can use him to write some journaling on. I think he'll be cute that way. And we'll just add this little guy right here. Oop, maybe not covering up the details of that photo, but just kind of like that. And we're going to say, "You are my sunshine and I'm feeling bright." Let's see. I was thinking this would be fun to add since we've got orange in the flag, but I don't really have an appropriate spot to put it in, so I think maybe not now that I'm considering it. Maybe we'll just add like a rainbow down here and kind of something like that. I should look and see what my stickers look like. Maybe I have some stickers I could use. Let's see. I've got the new give me a second here. I've got the new Ireland pack of papers and stickers. I just have to find them. Here they are. The stickers. Let's see what we've got. I use this little guy right here for there, and I'll just put a little shamrocky dude on this. feel like it needs more, but I just am not sure what more to give it. Stick this guy under here. And we'll put another little Trinity sticker over here with our shamrock. If I can lift this guy up just a little. There. All right. Well, that's a little bit better. I think we've got a lot of different things going on this page, so hopefully that balances fairly well. Let me know what you think about this layout. It seems like it is pretty long. Hopefully it's not as long when you're watching it, because my editor will be able to speed up some places, but adhering these little pieces all around the edge definitely does take some time. So this is not a fast layout, although it is not a layout you have to think about very hard. So, so keep that in mind. Thanks so much for joining me. Until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments, and make it a great day.